Those who claim that the God of the Old Testament is full of wrath and judgment, only seeking to annihilate people. When you read Qorach, their arguments may taste a little bit more with some credibility. Maybe. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day 4 of Qorach. And once more, we're still in Numbers or Bamidbar chapter number 16. Today, let's begin reading with verse 31. And it came to be as he, that is Moshe, ended speaking all these words, that the ground under them split apart. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households and all the men with Qorach, with all their goods. So they and all those with them went down alive into Sheol, and the earth closed over them, and they perished from the midst of the assembly. And all Israel who were round about them fled at their cry, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up. And a fire came out from Yahweh and consumed the 250 men who were offering incense. Judgment day has arrived, and Yah evidently is upset. So we promote this preferred image that God is love, and we are all God's children. And there are many ways to God. And what's another one? He loves the whole world, and his grace is greater than all of our sins. So therefore, at the time of accounting, whenever that may be, if there is such a day, grace will rule the day. He will gloss over our sins, wink at them, sigh deeply, and say, all right, come on in. That is the preferred image of Yah. But he has already told us, you may not put a redefined, redrawn image on my face and call me the same. I'll have no other gods before me. So we're not allowed to create a God of our own preference and then stick that mask of that God over Yah's face and say, see, that's who he is. Yah describes himself, and that description we must agree to, or else we are serving somebody else. It's plain and simple fact. So the dramatic conclusion here is that the earth opens up like has never happened before, and people just fall into an abyss, and then the earth closes back over them, and suddenly they're gone. Israel heard their screams as they suddenly lost gravitational hold, and they were flushed into the earth. What a horrible, horrible way to perish. Fire coming out from the presence of the Father, and 250 men were instantly incinerated. Again, what a horrible way to go. So let's re-examine a couple of things here, and then there are 3 points that I want to make at least today, unless I think of something else on the way. 250 men are all standing there thinking, I'm the one he really wanted. Or else, I heard the job was paying good, so I thought I'd at least, apply for it. That can't be the case. That just, you don't do that. Not with the presence of Yah. Yah's presence is most set apart beyond any and everything, and it cannot be contaminated by that which is common. These 250 men had to understand that the role to be assumed was to traffic in the Most High's presence, and without being selected by him, the one that you are ministering to, it's not going to be accepted. So there was this understanding then perhaps in their mind that Yah made a mistake in choosing Aaron. He wanted me instead. But did they not remember that Nadav and Abihu did something very similar with a fire pan, and they died? And they were selected. I don't even know how to describe then this mindset. And so the foundational argument about this whole scenario that has developed, that is what Qorach said back in verse 3. All the congregation is set apart, all of them, and Yahweh is in their midst. That's the foundational argument. Moshe, you and Aaron have lifted yourselves up unnecessarily and presumptuously above everybody else in this congregation. Everybody is set apart. What can be understood then from his argument is, Moshe, who are you to come give us your version of this Torah when every man here has the ability to ascend that mountain and get the Torah? You told us that none of us were allowed to go up. Only you could go up. But who is to say that we could not have been going up along with you or in place of you all along? You're keeping Yah for yourself and then coming down and saying this is what he said, and we're just supposed to accept it. How do we know that what you're saying is legitimate? So the understanding then is every man ought to be able to discern the commands of the Torah for himself, which is the foundation then for what you read later on in the annals of the early history of the nation. When they come into the land, every man did what was right in his own eyes. We are still practicing such doctrine where everyone is allowed to read the Torah for themselves, discern for themselves, and apply what they would wish and deny what they don't wish, and come up with their own Torah. And it's especially offensive when they say, if someone else doesn't agree with me on my version of the Torah, well, then the earth's going to open up and swallow you. Every man is not allowed to have his own Torah. Moshe gave us the Torah. Moshe has given us the revelation of Yeshua. Yeshua himself said, Moshe and the prophets, they testify of me. So the version of the Torah that fails to announce and reveal Yeshua as the Messiah is not the fuller, most complete version of the Torah. Second thought. If these 250 men had succeeded, then it would have been understood that every man is free, based on his own understanding of the Torah, to approach Yah according to his own protocols. Well, I just worship the Father the way I want to. I teach it the way I want to. I do with him as I want to. The Father and I, through Yeshua, have a special relationship. And well, I'm his favorite, and I can climb in his lap and call him Daddy. That's not true. He is set apart. He is most set apart. He is completely set apart. And we cannot approach him in a common fashion. We must approach him the way he requires of us, according to his protocols and his preferences. And the third point here is that if this test had come to fruition and Qorach and company had succeeded, then it would basically amount to Yah has to rule by popular vote. And we see this in the earth now, that popular vote as to whether or not you agree with what's going on in the war in Israel, and how we determine what days are and months are and so on and so forth. Well, the popular vote holds the day. No, Yah's way holds the day, period. He will not ask for or even need your vote. So get out of the voting booth, walk uprightly, and I'll see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.